Hello and good morning again. I'm back, the kinesiologist on the move, Merel Sultan from Movimento. And I just got a lovely message from Roos Annemaat, who has been inspiring me to make all these videos. She's actually telling me that she loves the content and the balances, but she mostly loves the energy. And that's what I always say in my videos. I only vlog when I feel wonderful. And so that's why you have not had some vlogs from me for some time. Because I've been living in the Netherlands. My son was living with me. That was really, really lovely. But being in the Netherlands for me is kind of hard. It's kind of heavy, hard work. Like being sunken in matter. Meanwhile, I love being in energy and flow, and it's Brittany, it's 11 degrees, the rain has been not falling, it comes in like horizontally with all the wind, but here I feel alive. So I'm sharing with you the things, the routines I do. Actually, they're the opposite of routines. I'm trying to think out of the box and live out of the box. If you always do what you have been doing, if you always think what you have been thinking, if you always feel what you have been feeling, you are creating your past in your future. Think of it. Very deep sentence. So what I do when I'm away, I study. I do a full immersion of studying, and at the moment I'm reading this book of Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's called You Are the Placebo, and it explains how you can heal by changing your mind. And actually kinesiology is absolutely made for this, so I'm getting more and more enthusiastic of my own material and the tools I have. So I'm just reading about the brain now, that if you do something one time, neurons fire to other neurons and they make synaptical networks, and they double the speed and double the connections. So they go from 1,300 connections to 2,600. But if you don't repeat or continue it in the next 3 weeks, you lose it. So reading a book and doing nothing with it is like losing time. You just don't remember. So what I do in this case, for example, but I do it mostly with everything I study, I do the full immersion. So I'm reading now. Reading for me is not the easiest way to get information in. I've done a course, speed reading, to make it easier for me, because I always make the words in my head and that's slow. And my brain is much faster. Everybody's brain is much faster, but mine is much faster. I'm really good at listening. So it's very dark here. It's dark until 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's dark already. It's dark at 6 at night. During the day it's quite light, but dark here is really dark. There's hardly any light pollution. So I have a really hard time reading, and then I go to the audios. And Mr. Joe Dispenza has so many audios. So I listen to him, I make notes, I stripe in my books. I hear him say a sentence and I pause and I think, okay, what does this mean for my life? What kind of thoughts am I thinking all the time? Can I pose another question? What would life be like if I thought in another way? He inspires me to think differently. And if I think differently, I make new synapses. And if I keep repeating this for at least 3 weeks, my brain is altered. And I have learned new things, and I've new hardwired networks in my brain, which means I have changed as a person. And you can do that too. People always make the joke, you are not a tree. If you don't like it, move. But people don't move. They stay stuck because they they are in the same routines all day, every day. So I would love to inspire you to get a book. You can do the full immersion with me too. Think of the 11 books I've written. Think of the courses I give, the basic courses in kinesiology. So you learn how to muscle test with Touch for Health. And to balance yourself, you need that in order to have energy to change, to grow. Stress release, to change your thoughts and your unconscious programming. Make it from negative to positive. Brain gym, get out of freeze and start living. Go into growth mode. So that's only the basic ones that I give at the moment, or that I'll be giving next year. But for example, I wrote a book From IQ to QI, how you go from your fixed mindset to thinking in possibilities, and a 100-day program to change your system. I'm going to teach that in, I think it was a course of a day. I'll be doing a whole weekend with my book, Love, Help Heal the World. And I'll be using 12 different techniques that I know now that are the best to change your fixed mindset, your broken ideas, to loving and light ideas. And I'm going to do a third one. Which one was? Oh, deprogramming. I've made this beautiful technique. Of course, listening to audios and combining things. Where if you have a trigger in the now, you are being triggered by someone that you've actually asked for, because this vibration is in your system, so you're pulling them towards you. And this trigger, there's a trauma underneath. But many times, this trauma is not in your life now. So how do you find it? You cannot even remember it. How does it work? It's in your unconscious mind. Wanting to come out, by the way, because that's why you have the trigger. And if you listen to that, we work with the cross, so we can see in future generations, past generations, future lives and past lives, where the trauma comes from, and heal it on the spot, and then come back to the life now, and you won't be triggered again. So your life is much easier, less in fight flight, and you're more conscious in the now. And it's from the now that you create your future. Oh, so guys, one of my routines is studying. Study. And of course, I start with the pace before doing that, because my mind needs to be open for learning. Otherwise, I'm stuck, just like you guys. So I hope I have inspired you. Wishing you a wonderful day, and see you tomorrow.